everybody, welcome to another edition of Pick a Card, brought to you by J&J Toy Giants. This is a segment that we actually go over some trading cards, whether it be sports, movies, anime, you name it. And this edition of J&J Toy Giants Pick a Card is going to be going through some Skybox NBA cards, and this is through Series 2. So this is going to be, let me see, what year is this? 1990 through 91 and 1990. So they might be under the same year. This one doesn't state if it's 89 through 90 or 90 to 91. But let's open them up. Let's gonna go with the black real quick. All right. All right. Now, through the previous incarnations of this video segment, I actually like the Skybox because they're not as glossy like the Fleer or the other Upper Deck or Tops. They're very more cardboard like, so it's not, when I pull it up to the camera, it doesn't show you a lot of glare. So this first one is going to be Steve Johnson. He is a center and played for the Seattle Supersonics. Look at that. All right. And Kiki Vandeweghe. He is a forward from the New York Knicks. See that bad boy right there. And from the Indiana Pacers, Vern Fleming. And he is a guard. Look at that. Not too much glare, but I mean, I guess just the way the lighting is, it's going to show you glare no matter what. But we're going to get through it, folks. And from the Washington Bullets, Charles Jones. He is a forward. And, of course, if you're the first time watching this type of a video for Pick a Card through the NBA, I've mentioned before that around this time, Washington had the name Bullets, but they've since now changed it to the Washington Wizards because of, with Washington, D.C. had the connotation of being a really rough city, so they wanted to get that negative connotation of bullets like guns. So then they changed it to the Washington Wizards around the time that Michael Jordan started playing with the team around 2000, and now they're called the Washington Wizards now. But before, they were the Washington Bullets. So you learn every day, folks, as far as sports trivia. And, this is a good one. Good poll. Center from the San Antonio Spurs, David Robinson. Look at that. Who also was an admiral, being that the Veterans Day just recently passed. He was an admiral in the Navy. Not so many people know that. And the next up for a guard for the Denver Nuggets, Walter Davis. All right, we'll bring him up a little closer. You can see him a little better. And from the Charlotte Hornets, who was, I believe this was during the time that the expansion team was going around, and Charlotte Hornets was an expansion team. He was a forward, Armin Gilliam. Look at that. And from the Atlanta Hawks, a power forward, Alexander Volkov. My money is that he is probably a Russian with that last name. Might be wrong. Tom Garrick from the Los Angeles Clippers. He was a guard. All right, check that out. And from the Portland Trail Blazers, Wayne Cooper. He was a center. And from the Los Angeles Lakers, Orlando Woolridge. Check that out. He was a forward. Now, on these cards, they don't really tell you whether or not he was a point guard or shooting guard, small forward, power forward. Center is pretty much self-explanatory, but this one is actually, again, from another player from the Portland Trail Blazer, Terry Porter. Very well known during that time. Very, very good point guard. Terry Porter. And Again, from another player from the I'm sorry, not Charlotte Hornets, but the San Antonio Spurs, Sean Elliott. And from my team, the New York Knicks, which they're not really doing that well right now. I think they're 2-8. But they're a young team. They're rebuilding. Gerald Wilkins. He was a guard. And rounding out this pack from the Washington Bullets, Tom Hammonds. All right, so we're going to go into our second pack. We'll put these babies back in their package here so I can put them in some protectors later. Also, too, if you want to see more of the Pick a Card series, you can see on our playlist on our YouTube channel. I just recently did one of the WWE SmackDown Live. That was actually pretty good. So I'm going to open these pack here. All right. All right, so the first one from the Boston Celtics, Kevin Gamble. See that one right there? And this is NBA draft card. So this was from the Orlando Magic, which also during that time was an expansion team. Dennis Scott, who was drafted. He is a forward. He was actually the very first player during that time to what the Golden State Warriors did a lot in the last 5 years, where he would be the one to shoot a three-pointer on the fast break. A lot of times during that era, they never did that. If you got a fast break, you dunk it, you lay it up. But he was the first one to implement, okay, we got a fast break, I'm going to shoot a three. So he was actually kind of the innovator of that. For the next card, it's going to be through the Boston Celtics, Joe Klein. And he was a center. Look at that card. And this is a special card with the logo of the Miami Heat. And this was a really good player back in the day from the Cleveland Cavaliers, Mark Price. Very, very good guard. And my man from the New York Knicks, number 33, Patrick Ewing. And another card for the Miami Heat. This was the coach at the time, Ron Rothstein. Check that guy out. Oh, another one again from the Miami Heat, Ronnie Cycli. He was a really, really good player. Was a center, very good rebounder. He averaged about 10.4 rebounds in the 89-90 season, and then all centers averaged 6.1, so he did very well. And, from the Philadelphia 76ers, Hershey Hawkins. He was a very good player. I remember watching him battle against my Knicks back in the day. And, this is a coach card from the Chicago Bulls, Phil Jackson, who I'm sure you know won 6 titles as a coach with the Chicago Bulls, 2 as a player with the New York Knicks in 72 and 73, and also he won some titles in Los Angeles, so he has 11 rings total. He's the only person to ever do that. And is the first person to ever win as a coach, a player, and with 2 different teams. And the next card is going to be Byron Scott from the Los Angeles Lakers. He was a very implemental part of the Showtime team when they had nobody else to score very limited time, and that ever happened. they would always give it to Byron Scott to finish out the game. And from the Charlotte Hornets, J.R. Reed. He is a forward. And another logo card for the team, San Antonio Spurs. And from the Los Angeles Clippers, Charles Smith. Now, Charles Smith later became part of the New York Knicks organization, did very well there. And finishing out this video and the second pack from the Seattle Supersonics, Sean the Rain Man Kemp. And he is a forward. They used to call him the Rain Man because he used to rain on you with some powerful dunks. I mean, this dude, you thought LeBron was like, you know, tough when he would go in the paint. You wouldn't want to see this guy running up up the paint trying to dunk on you, because he would rain it, just like they used to tell him the Rain Man. So that does it for this edition of Pick a Card for J&J Toy Giants. Be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to also press that notification button so when we get a new video up and running, you will be notified. And appreciate the love and support. And see you next time.